What's up, everyone? This is MrEvan Productions here, and welcome to episode 149 of Ask MrEvan. So let's go ahead and answer the questions. Here we go. Chloe the Squig Fan 2K4 asks, opinion on libraries? They're pretty good places. Because I have been to a library before, and honestly, it's a pretty good place. Daniel asks, 1. Do you think Blippi should have never existed in the first place? Absolutely. He should have never been created in the first place. Because his content absolutely sucks. I can't believe I used to watch his content when I was younger. But thank goodness I no longer watch his content anymore. Because it's just getting boring. Just like with Dan Sobel's content. Because Dan Sobel's content is also boring. It's also cringe-worthy, just like Blippi's. But if you guys like Blippi, but if you guys like Blippi for some reason, then that's fine. That's fine. I can handle your opinions on Blippi. Like, I can handle your thoughts. Just as long as you can handle mine. 2. What's your least favorite Nickelodeon show? For me, it's Breadwinners. Let's go with Dora the Explorer, because that's actually my least favorite Nickelodeon show of all time. That's actually my least favorite Nickelodeon show of all time. Let me try again. That's actually my least favorite Nickelodeon show of all time, because I used to like Dora the Explorer when I was younger, but nowadays it's just a boring show. I don't really care for it. But if any of you guys like Dora the Explorer, that's fine. I can handle your opinions. But if any of you guys like Dora the Explorer, or if it's part of your childhood shows, then that's fine. I can handle your thoughts on the show. I can absolutely handle your thoughts. I will handle your thoughts on the show if you like it. 3. What's your least favorite Nick Jr. show? For me, I have 2. Baby Shark's Big Show and Bossy Bear. Well, actually, I have 3. I have 3 least favorite Nick Jr. shows. So let's start with 1. My least favorite Nick Jr. show is Dora the Explorer, like I said. Number 2 is Blue's Clues and You. And number 3 is... trying to think. Number 3 is Bubble Guppies. Because I can't stand Bubble Guppies. Bubble Guppies also sucks. So I'm going to be sticking with SpongeBob SquarePants. Because, you know, SpongeBob SquarePants is a better Nickelodeon show that takes place underwater. So my favorite underwater show on Nickelodeon is SpongeBob SquarePants, not Bubble Guppies. Alexis the Red Boy asks, 1. Do you like cockroaches? No way, I do not like cockroaches. 2. Do you like balloons? Yes, balloons are really awesome. 3. Have you ever heard of Red Paramount Feature Presentation? I haven't heard of that, no. 4. Do you hate popping balloons? I absolutely hate that, yes. Like, I absolutely hate it when the balloons go popping. Like, when they just pop. Yeah, I can't stand that, to be honest. And 5. What's your opinion on Nintendo Switch OLED? I have never heard of that, but I have heard of the first Nintendo Switch, and there's also going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 coming out as well, sometime this year. 6. Do you hate flying cockroaches? Yes, I absolutely hate them. I absolutely hate flying cockroaches. 7. What's your opinion on Xbox Series X? I think I've heard of it, but I don't really know. 8. What's your opinion on Applejack? Never heard of that before until you told me. But I gotta say that Applejack is it's decent. It's alright. 9. What's your opinion on Xbox One? the Xbox One is a pretty good console. Because I used to have an Xbox One, but nowadays but I never really played it really. Because I wasn't really a fan of video games back then. But nowadays, I just play games using the browser. Like, I just play browser games. So that means I don't really play games on the console on console anymore, but I instead play browser games. Because at least it's better than getting a console, because sometimes getting a console can be very expensive. So that's why I just play browser games, or using an emulator to play some games that I used to play when I was younger. So to play the games that I used to play when I was younger, I just use an emulator. So yeah. 10. What's your opinion on The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, 2005? I think it's a pretty good movie from 2005. I've seen it before, and I gotta say, it's a pretty good movie from 2000. It's a good 2005 movie. And in fact, it came out the same year that I was born, which is pretty cool. Which is actually really cool. 11. Opinion on Madagascar Escape to Africa, 2008. Well, it's alright. It's an alright sequel. But I'm gonna stick with the original Madagascar movie from 2005. 12. Opinion on Dan Sobel, aka Dan the My Little Pony and Sylvia the First fan. I absolutely despise him. Because what he did on YouTube and what he did in his Google Meets was absolutely wrong. But I'm not going to mention the reasons why, because I'd rather just keep them to myself. But yeah, Dan Sobel should get off of YouTube. And he should get off of Google Meets as well. And he should also get off of social media as well. Because his taste test videos are just so... His taste test videos, he takes too long. Because he reads the nutrition facts. Don't read the nutrition facts. Just explain what you're eating and just eat. Or lean over and put the camera down like this. Easy, just like that. That's how I do it in my food reviews. Because in my food reviews, I just explain to the viewers what I'm having, and I just lean over to eat my food. Simple, just like that. It's not that hard. But for Dan Sobel, he shows himself eating the food, which is very disgusting. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that, Dan. So you should lean over when eating, just like how I do it. 13. Opinion on My Little Pony Exterior Girls, Rainbow Rocks, 2014. I think it's a pretty good movie. Wonder Red asks, 1. What's your opinion on Fat Albert? I think it's a pretty decent movie, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know what to think about it. 2. What do you like to do when you hang out with someone? Usually it depends on what they want to do. If they want to play a game, then I'll play a game. If they want to play Super Mario Bros., then I'll play it with them. Simple as that. 3. What's your favorite hat? Well, my favorite hat is Adidas. Because, in fact, I am wearing an Adidas hat right now as I'm making this episode. So yeah. 4. Opinion on A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life is a pretty good movie from 1998. Adam the Disney Fan 2006 asks, 1. Have you ever heard of AI? Yes. I have heard of AI, and those AI chats are just... They can be pretty interesting sometimes. Well, especially if you know the answer to something, but they're just fun to chat. One of those AI chats are just... They sometimes can be fun to chat with. But the thing is, though, they get they're just inaccurate. Like they get answers wrong. And that's because they're trained by the AI models. But I honestly don't mind it. 2. Do you hate plagiarism? Yes, I do hate plagiarism because that proves that plagiarism is like when someone copies your idea without permission, without asking permission. Like plagiarism is basically where you just look at their content and just copy what they do. Like instead, just come up with your own ideas. Don't just look at their content and just copy what they do. Because that's plagiarism, and you could get in trouble by the original owner just for copying their ideas without permission. So if you want to create ideas based on someone else's idea, you would need to ask permission from the original owner first to make sure you're not getting in trouble. Because that's what I would do. Like for an example, like if I wanted to do the same thing that Justice Schrum does, like him drinking the water bottle, like in like 31.8 seconds tonight, I would have to ask him permission. I would have to ask permission from Justice Schrum before doing so. So that way I'm not directly copying his idea without asking. So instead, I'm just gonna be asking permission. Ask permission first, because I would need to ask permission first from Justice Schrum before doing so, just to make sure I don't get in trouble. So yeah. 3. What's your opinion on libraries? They're pretty good. 4. What do you think of Rugrats? Rugrats is a pretty good show. Giancarlo, the Super Mario fan 2006 asks, 1. Are you excited for March? Yes, I am. In fact, tomorrow is the first day of March, and I'm recording this episode of Ask MrEvan on the last day of February of 2025. 2. Do you like to run? Yes, I do like to run because running is probably my favorite hobby of all time. Besides basketball, because running is a really good exercise for you, and you can grow and you can get big and strong by running every day if it's nice out. 3. Do you like to read? I sometimes like to read, but I'm not really a reading person that much. Instead, I'm just like a game person. 4. Do you think Donovan Patton does a terrible job voicing bots from Timo Mizumi? I certainly do. Yes. Donovan Patton does a terrible job of bringing Bot to life. Because why would he bring Bot to life? So he does a terrible job. Yeah. Especially, he's the one that tells the viewers to yell out the number 9. Yeah, exactly. Because Bart is the one that tells the viewers to yell out the number 9. Like, Bart, you're gonna get in so much trouble if you do that. So yeah. ESTN 2013 asks, 1. Have you tried the new dill pickle Cheetos? I haven't really tried it before, so I don't know what my opinion on it is. 2. Do you follow Snackulator on YouTube? I don't know what that user is, to be honest. So I have no opinion. 3. Did you know that you can clean certain things with a Coca-Cola? No, I actually didn't know that. Until you told me. The Barn Cat asks, I love cheese pizza. Okay, but that's not a question, but I'll take it. Daniel G asks, you like White Castle? Yes. Even though there's not a White Castle around here in my area, but it's still a pretty good restaurant. I'll have to go to White Castle wherever there's I'll have to go to an area where there is a White Castle, and I'll have to try one of their foods. And I might possibly do a food review on it as well. South Park YouTuber asks, 1. Are you ready for spring? I am. Yes. Yes, I am. 2. What is your opinion on the Homer Simpson user? He's pretty good. And he makes videos of showing proof of how Dan Sobel acts. Because Dan Sobel does act childish at times. I'm just glad that we're no longer friends with him anymore. Because Dan Sobel needs to get off of YouTube for good. 3. Is TikTok and CapCut still going to be banned? Well, I heard that TikTok just recently was back on the App Store, and same for CapCut, because I have CapCut installed on my phone again, because it came back to the App Store and the Play Store, so I just reinstalled CapCut. 4. Do you find it interesting that we don't have a 2 in the morning on daylight savings time? Actually, yes. We actually don't have a 2 a.m. on daylight savings time. Like as soon as 1:59 a.m. is over, it goes straight to 3. It actually goes straight to 3 a.m. Because I did a video with me showing you guys proof that it goes from 1:59 to 3 a.m. That was taken last year. That was last year when I took that video. But I might do it again this year. It's possible. I might actually do that again this year. Just to show you guys proof again. Alright, The Gabe 2 asks, 1. Opinion on Planes 2013. It's a pretty good movie from 2013. 2. Opinion on Planes Fire and Rescue 2014. It's a pretty good sequel. It's a pretty good sequel to the original Planes movie from 2013. Because I actually do remember seeing Planes Fire and Rescue in theaters back in 2014. And I gotta say, it's a pretty good movie. Because I actually do remember seeing the movie in theaters, and I gotta say, it's a pretty good movie. I loved it. Hi, Jay. Daniel G says, Pep Rally got cancelled. That's sad to hear. Joseph Gilmore's Reviews asks, also known as Joseph Gilmore's Fantastic Reviews and More, asks, do you like Frosties? Yes, I do like Frosties from Wendy's. What's your opinion on Hulu? Hulu is a pretty good streaming service. What's your opinion on Clifford the Big Red Dog? I like it, but if you don't like it, then I respect your opinion. Well, actually, Joseph, I kind of like Clifford the Big Red Dog too, because it's one of my childhood shows on PBS Kids. What's your favorite dessert? Well, my favorite dessert is cake. Well, that's all the questions that we have for this video. If you have any more questions to ask me, then post them in the comments below, and I'll answer them in episode 150, and I'll answer them in episode 150 next Friday. So until then, if you enjoyed the video, be sure you leave me a thumbs up. I appreciate it, because I would appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so, and be sure to ring the notification bell, so that way you will know when new videos on the channel come out. And until next time, thank you for following me as MrEvan Productions. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Goodbye.